What's going on, everybody? My name is Zakeiuz. Whatever you'd like to call me, whatever floats your goat. This is Zakeiuz, the brand guide part 2. Okay, yesterday, if you saw that video, we actually went over what I call now my executive summary. Now, me today did not agree with me yesterday when I came up with everything that we wanted to put in this brand guide, because today I decided to pretty much double it, add a lot more information, and I exchanged and changed the order. So here is that order. It is going to be this very long page right here. And if you could see, it is 16 sections. So not including the cover page and the table of contents, which I'll get into in just a second, there is 15 pages. So like I said yesterday, we already did one of the steps, but we kind of did it out of order. So we're going to leave that where it is. We're going to jump back to the first thing. So that is today creating the cover letter and as well creating our table of contents, as well as my table of contents will essentially be my 16 steps all in one page, all in one place. It's just going to give you the page numbers in my little brand book of where to go. Now, the reason that I'm doing it this way is because these 16 steps can actually help you build your brand guide at the end. So I'm going to explain everything for Zakeiuz step by step in separate videos, what each one is for Zakeiuz, what it's going to mean for Zakeiuz in the future and now, and what we do. But you can take these core principles of the 16 sections and use them for your own brand. You can take some out, obviously. You can probably add some if you can think of any that I didn't add here. So I just think it's a great blueprint that we can start with, and that definitely gets all of the ideas out that we really need to explain what our brand is and who it's for. So what we're going to do today is we're going to build our cover letter. Like I said, we are going to build our table of contents out. All right, so bringing it to the computer real quick, we are using the website Kittl. It is the design app, and I love it so much. It is easy to make designs and stuff like this. So what I did is search cover page right here, and I clicked this one that said beneath the surface. I dragged that over here. I deleted that design right here, and I changed the font to this right here, as well as the words to Zakeiuz Brand Guide, and it's the year of 2026. I then changed that to bold and italicized it. So that is our cover letter done in about 5 minutes. So just as simple as that, we already created our cover letter. Now is going to be our table of contents, which, like I said, is going to be our 16 section step process of how to build a brand guide for generals. Okay, so right now we're going to hop back over to Kittl. We're going to do the same thing, search templates of table of contents. We are going to then fill in our information, and just like that, we're going to have our table of contents. So like I just said, we went to Kittl again, we searched a table of contents, and this is the one I like. This is the brand vibe that I want to capture in Zakeiuz. So like I said, we're going to change a few things, and like that, bada bing, bada boom, we have our table of contents. All right, so now that our cover page is done and that our table of contents is finally done, I'm gonna flash some pictures up on the screen of what they actually look like once they're finished. All right, so now we're gonna go through our table of contents real quick for all of the steps. I did, however, already kick out some because of the design that we have. So here are the sections that we have. All right, so our first couple of sections are gonna be number 1, our brand overview, which is basically just the whole story and understanding of Zakeiuz in a very, very long essay format. All right, this is most likely gonna be skipped most of the time by a lot of people who do actually open this book and read it. However, the next step is where we catch those people and give them the information again, which is our executive summary. This is basically everything pretty much in the official brand overview, but in bullet points and easy to digest. Next is going to be our brand foundation and purpose. This is just the building blocks of why Zakeiuz exists. Next is going to be our vision and long-term direction. All right, so this is where Zakeiuz is going in the future and how we're going to do that. Next is going to be our brand values and operating principles. Basically, the ultimate building blocks of what Zakeiuz does is going to be based on these values of who we are and why we are that way. Next is going to be our brand voice, tone, and our language. So this is how we communicate, how our designs communicate, everything with just language and how we communicate. Up next, we have our brand positioning and audience. All right, this is where we are going to position ourselves in the market to set ourselves apart, as well as who we are trying to target. Next is going to be our product philosophy and our quality standards. This is going to be our QC. This is going to make sure that everything is up to the standard that we are doing here at Zakeiuz. So high quality, it's a big old message right in your face, and it's got to mean something. Which leads me into the next one of our content and storytelling This is our whole niche. This is where our ideas come to life, is because we're recording everything. From literal step one, I am literally doing it right now. I'm building it in real time and sharing it with you guys. So that is our content and storytelling, how we are delivering our message. And then we have our faith alignment and theological boundaries. So this is what lines we are not going to cross and what lines we are going to cross. And it's very specific of what we are stanced on and what we are definitely going to avoid. We are stanced on the Bible, business on the Bible, standing on it. We are not going to be shallow in our faith. We are not going to be soft in our faith. We're not going to hide. We're going to be loud, but very minimalistically loud with what we say. We don't need a lot of words to say something deep and meaningful, is what this brand is trying to achieve. Which leads next into the community and the impact and the responsibility of Zakeiuz. So what we're trying to do is build a community, and we're trying to have this responsibility to build a platform that everybody can join and chase Jesus together. Which leads into the very last thing, the business thing. It's kind of boring, that's why I put it at the end. This is just not boring. This is important as well, but this is more technical, more business-oriented, corporate, if you ask me, which is going to be our business ethics and how we operate on our standards. And this is basically just what we're going to do in our business operations, as in who we partner with, what we release, what we collab with, everything like that is going to be under a strict set of guidelines. And if they do not fall into those guidelines, then it will be a no. So just to recap, that is our 15 section brand guide. All right, now I will make a better video on the deep dive into the 15 sections, so you can actually have it for your brand. Like I'll make a brand guide, if that makes sense, later, once we get through all of Zakeiz's each one. Okay, once we make a video on each one in each section for Zakeiuz, and I can explain thoroughly section by section, then I will make one long video about, hey, this is the brand guide for the brand guide. Because your first page is going to be, hey, that big long page about this is exactly what we are. Then you're going to break it down simpler. Then you're going to break it down even more further, but in more detail. And you're going to do that section by section by section until you basically beat the dead horse and they know exactly what your brand is. Because a lot of brands nowadays, you don't know what it's about. They just follow trends and they follow what's hot, and that's not what this brand is about to be. It is going to be very streetwear. It is going to be a lot of scripture and a lot of stone-setting messages, right? But it's not going to be chasing trends. We're not going to be chasing what is going on and being relevant. The storytelling is what we are chasing, right? We're not doing the flashy TikTok viral. No. So thank you for coming today. If you made it this far, that was our cover page and our table of contents. Thank you for being here. Like I said, don't forget to hit the buttons if you want to keep up with all of our steps in Zakeiuz. Thank you again. See you guys later.